If you are an entrepreneur who is a workaholic, you're obsessed, probably a one-man show, doing a decent amount of business, or you wouldn't be able to legally spend this much time doing it. But here's the thing I know about you that maybe you're not letting on to others, or maybe you're very aware of and you need to figure it out. Either way, I want to help you. If you are sitting, as Jim Rohn says, at the beach thinking about work, and at work thinking about the beach, we have a major problem. Right? If you are the type of person who is at your house and you already work maybe 10 or 12 hours a day on your business or whatever the case may be, personal brand, and when you go to enjoy the fruits of the labor that you put in and the whole reason that you did it, you find yourself unable to be present, unable to focus on what's actually in front of you, always thinking about the next thing, always striving to do the next thing, always on go, 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 go. I understand. I want to give you congratulations because I know for a fact you most likely have already built a decent level of success for yourself. In fact, I am convinced that if you're a go-getter and you have that type of hustler's mentality, it doesn't really matter what field you're in. You could be selling sombreros, a barber, a lawyer, a doctor, a consultant. It doesn't matter. If you have that mentality, you are inevitably going to be successful, but you will only be successful in the areas in which hard work and consistency matter most. And I want you to know something that might be contrary to your entire identity as a human being. The people who have 100 times more results than you in all areas of life, fulfillment, happiness, joy, wealth, riches, company size, all of it, do not, and I really want to stress this, they do not work 100 times harder than you. They don't. In fact, I am willing to bet this on anything, right? I know that there are 9-figure and 10-figure and probably even up higher entrepreneurs who do work 16 hours a day. But within that 16 hours a day, I can promise you they've mastered the art of being present at what it is they're doing. And I also know that there's people that make just as much money as them that work half the amount. Some people just choose to work. And what you don't understand if you don't take time to look at it is that there's a fundamental core thing going on that causes you to want to be doing it. It usually, it doesn't mean it's for you, but if it is, keep listening. It usually stems from getting all of your self-worth, all of your love and respect for who you are as a human being, especially, not especially, but a lot of the times, it's stronger in men, and at least we have it in society to put it on us, right? I'm sure women experience the same problem. But if you're such an ambitious person that you feel like all of your self-worth is derived from results and accomplishment, this feeling will be borderline inescapable. Because if our results are what deem our self-worth, then anytime we're doing any activity not focused on our results, we're going to then have guilt associated with that. Now, I have made thousands of videos about how neutrality doesn't exist. You're either moving forward towards your goals or actively backwards away from them. But sometimes what people don't understand in that sentence is if your goal was to work less, then you need to work less. This is a huge shift for me in my business that took the lid off my head when I was feeling like I needed to be here in this office every 12, 15 hours a day in order to get my business or company to the level I wanted to get it at faster, as if my direct time spent was equal to and proportionate to the amount of results that I received in my company. That's just not true. In fact, I know it's not true because every single one of my clients that we've gone through this process and had them deliberately cut out the fat of the things that they do. And what I mean by cut out the fat is most people who run a business, especially solopreneurs, have a lot of time spent doing things, as Jim Rohn says, they spend major time on minor things, right? You spend a bunch of time on your website design or a bunch of time on the brochure or the logo or the LLC setup or any of these things that ultimately don't move the needle. When you're spending major time on minor things, when you have somebody not delegating a role that should be delegated, and now they can't spend time to do what's masterful at, they can't focus on what they're supposed to be because you have B players in other positions or you have no other players and you're trying to do everything. It's the main reason. If you're in that position, I was in that position. I knew my client Han was a barber who was in that position, right? He was standing in his barbershop 60 hours a week. So he was making, in that 60-hour time period, anywhere between, well, in a month, about $3,000. On a good month, he'd get it up to like maybe 4, but again, 60, 70 hours, most of which he spent that time sitting in the chair waiting for a walk-in or having appointments so spaced out that he would have 2 appointments here in the beginning of the day, and then nobody for 5 hours, and then 6 more at night. It's just madness. Right? And so we didn't raise his price. We didn't add some fancy ad all the way. We didn't do anything other than we forced him to change his mentality and to focus on not working as much and to deliberately set his time to this is when I'm going to be at the barbershop. All of his clients got in line, and now he just sent me this text message, working 3 days, making more money than he knows what to do with. In February, with less days in the month than normal, Han was able to make $6,000 cash, and that it was while working only 1/3 of the amount of time that he used to. It's unbelievable. And the reason stuff like this happens over and over and over and over again, my client Phil, who runs an Amazon FBA business, has been able to delegate almost 80% of his workload and spending most of his time with his daughters on spring break. Listen, there are people who have the key. And if you don't allow yourself to enjoy the reasonings or the things that you started this business for, you're going to end up burning through all of your time and dealing with a different type of regret, one that's impossible to fix. Now listen, you'll be able to make as much money anytime, anywhere. Money is infinite. It is an energy source that is literally abundant. There's trillions of dollars flowing around all the time. You have got to let go of your need to get more all the time. I'm not saying you guys can't have the intention to go out there and raise your company and to get higher and more clients or whatever the goal is, right? I'm not saying to turn off your fundamental nature. I am saying that the time you're spending is not coming back. It is the most valuable asset and not abundant thing we have. And so learning to direct it and to force it for self-care and self-worth is not a loss of any means. And in fact, I can't tell you how many business owners get stuck between 10K and 15K and can't go to 30 because they cannot force the time in to do the things for themselves and to be present with their family at home. And so when they're at home, they're distracted and then they're unrestful and then their relationships are all a hot mess. Then they go to the office and they're trying to work, but they have the stress of having this be on their mess. It's all a hot yibbity-yobbity, right? It's not gonna work. So you have to put you first. You have to be able to keep the intention of growth while maintaining the balance of doing the shit you said. I realized that the goal that I wanted, the whole reason I started a business was to be able to work less than 40 hours a week. So why would I condemn myself like so many entrepreneurs do to working 60, 70 hours a week just to fulfill some arbitrary goal that I think is more important than having that time freedom? And then not appreciating the time freedom, and then not look at your current situation and go, wow, I really am grateful everything I have right now. And here's the kicker, gang. If you can learn to be grateful and on that energy of what you have right now, and instead, I'm not saying you guys can't have more, but if you can just really tap in, you will get more. It will be flying to you. Opportunities come out of the woodwork. You can just knock on a door. Next thing, the next person you need is on the other side. I'm telling you, I've seen it time and time and time again. So if you're an ultra successful person and you're feeling like, man, I really need to be present, I need to get back to connect, here's what you do to take it away from this video, to make it actionable for you, to make it clear, and to not let this just be another thing you go, I should do that, and then go back to the grind, right? I really want you to pick one thing that you think you would do if you already had accomplished all of your goals that is not monetary based, right? So for me, when I hit my 100K month, right? I know that month I'm playing golf and I'm having a celebration round, so I play golf, right? I know this sounds crazy, it sounds backwards, right? If you were somebody who's always said, hey, once I have time freedom in my calendar and I've gotten rid of my employees, and so that way it's just me and I have less things to stress about, then I'm gonna start reading more, I'm gonna get back in the gym, or I'm gonna ride a bike, or I'm gonna play tennis, or I'm gonna play chess, or I'm gonna watch that show. Do one of those things right now, today. I don't care what the reality of the situation is, the company's going, put it to the side for a little bit, do those things. Now, again, caveat, this is for the people who are workaholics and who normally work all damn day. Right? If you don't do anything and you have the opposite problem, well, we'll have another video for you coming soon. But for the workaholics, you need to take time for yourself. I hope this video has been helpful. If you are an entrepreneur between 10 and 20K a month and you want somebody to be in our one-on-one support for you to help build out this mindset, have you that daily support, basically kind of like a therapist in your pocket, but not a therapist, just a disclaimer there, then you can book a call below and sign up for that. Not only that will help you scale your business with social media the way we have. And if you're somebody who's quite not yet there at that level, but you're just starting out and you want to learn some mindset stuff, well, one, this channel, you should subscribe. There's so many, I literally have over 200 videos that are meant to get you on your highest frequency and help you put your head in the right place. And two, we also have the mini course and community available below. Peace, love, and prosperity. I'll see you guys on the next one.